You are watching 10 Tampa Bay News at 5:30. I'm Frank Wiley.
And I'm Dave Wagner. Right now, hundreds of people are at the USF St. Pete campus for the final day of the Black Cemetery Network's inaugural conference.
That event was in part inspired by the ongoing discoveries of erased African-American cemeteries across the Tampa Bay area. 10 Investigates Emerald Morrow has covered this extensively for years.
Yeah, and she shows why so many continue to be invested in this issue.
Yeah, Dave, today's lineup brought people together, not just from our area, but really from all across the country. And that illustrates how serious of a problem this really is, one that is vexing communities nationwide. More than 200 researchers, historians, advocates, and archaeologists from all over the country convened at USF for a day of sessions on preserving hallowed ground.
Cemeteries are for the dead, but they serve the living, right? So they are created by the living in order to remember the dead, to remember our past, to remember our ancestors.
But historical records show that in the case of African American cemeteries, the living sometimes destroyed these spaces for the dead, all in the name of progress. It happened in St. Louis with Washington Park Cemetery, where records suggest an interstate paved over graves. In New York City, where eminent domain forced black cemeteries to move to make room for Central Park. And here at home in places like downtown St. Pete, not far from the conference.
And that is personal for me because I have a great-great-grandfather who may or may not have been buried at the current Tropicana Field site. So as we talk about erasure and the importance of preserving these African-American cemeteries, it's important that we pay attention to what's happening right here in our own backyard.
Or across the bay at Zion Cemetery, now under Robles Park Village. Ray Reed's research helped lead to that discovery.
And it doesn't matter if they're pale like me or any hue. A human being deserves respect and dignity, and wherever they're laid to rest is sacred space.
We have to remember that there was a time in the very recent past where even our cemeteries were segregated.
House Minority Leader Fentress Driscoll gave today's keynote speech. After Zion, she championed legislation to protect historic cemeteries, some of them going back to the Civil War.
We should not shy away from our history. It is important to remember that America was a slave-owning country. I mean, we have some really challenging elements of our history to overcome, including Jim Crow. But we also have some really beautiful moments in our history.
The conference wraps tonight at 7, but the Black Cemetery Network at USF says its work will continue. In St. Pete, I'm Emerald Morrow.